Boy, this steering wheel is... The leather comes from an $80,000 car. It's perfect. Perfect. It's not quite black. It's like that, let's call it the Audi gray with this white stitching. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, this is the review of the 2015 Mercedes CLA 250 with all-wheel drive. This is a buddy of mine who bought this car. As you can see, he's on the winter rims now and even bought Mercedes mags for the winter rims. I find those black mags look awesome. The car, this is one of those cars that looks so much better in person than it does in camera. The front end is just so distinctive and so aggressive. And it really looks high-end. I mean, boy, did they ever put that Mercedes badge so everyone could see it, huh? But it is the goods. So the car is not just flashing its brand, it's flashing its good looks, and it works well. Here's another view of it. I just couldn't stop getting enough views of the front end of this car because I don't know, I find it looks amazing. This car on the road and inside is not as perfect as the outside. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Just another detail about the exterior wheels, they kind of like come out, the wheels kind of like bulge out, which makes it look even more sporty. I am telling you, the design, the wheels, everything, this is just on a whole nother level. Inside though, let's look at these, look at the dual exhaust, you know. However, it sounds like it has a single exhaust. It doesn't really sound that sporty. I made the remark on the road. From behind, it looks amazing. It really looks amazing. That's all there is to it, really. Inside, a little bit more of a mixed bag. I think it looks pretty good. This is more flashy than the Audi, though I would say the Audi is more classy. However, it's tastefully flashy. It has those big round dials that stare at you in the face, that feel high quality with silver trim everywhere. The steering wheel is, once again, the steering wheel is in another world. It's much better. The seats are good. The seats are very comfortable. No complaints there. They have a premium feel. There's even like a little light. You know where there's the hole in the seat? At night there's like a light which makes it like give it an ambient feel. There's those stupid Mercedes door pulls that we just saw that are very cheap. However, the rest of the door is pretty good quality. I mean, this car has gotten maybe a bit hard reviews. Look at that's the rear door. Look at how good it is. It has two speakers, two integrated speakers, the white stitching everywhere, that grayish, that Audi gray. Once again, I think they stole the idea from Audi. Look how the front wheel sticks out of the wheel well. It really looks sporty, and that's what the 17-inch mags. The guy who bought this car, it comes with he bought the AMG mags. It must look amazing. Rear seat room, of course, is I don't know. This ain't the 65-year-old couple's Mercedes. This is for young people who have young tastes and not a lot of friends who will sit in back.
The throttle is extremely soft and lengthy, even if you're in sport mode. I like, there were concerns about maybe the interior quality, that it's not up to Mercedes level, and I'm not trying to suggest it's a C-Class, but full of little flashy, tasteful touches inside that it just makes you feel like you're driving an expensive car. And the touch point, the main touch point, the steering wheel, my goodness, it looks like it came off, I don't know, $80,000 car. It's completely ridiculous how wonderful it is to touch, and it really just increases the driving experience. They have a lot of contrasting colors. Well, not real colors, black, gray, silver inside, and it works. The premium feel is good in this car. Like the A3, it's got a very tiny rear view mirror. I don't know, and well, I guess it's okay because it has a tiny rear window, so I guess it's okay. The bass sound system is very good. It has a good bass to it, and the sound is very clear. On the highway, this car makes very low road noise, very low wind noise. So once again, you're getting a premium feel. You see where your money is going. The engine is not something to rip your hair off. I think perhaps I tried the GTI recently, and I think maybe the Audi engine has a bit more pep, and the BMW one certainly does. but this one is extremely fuel efficient. The owner of this car was telling me that before he had a regular Subaru, an old Subaru Impreza, he also had an Audi A4, and all those cars drank more gas than this one. So the fuel efficiency is there, and you know, a good fuel efficient vehicle, it's always fun when you drive a lot because you don't have to pay more. When you buy a Mercedes CLA or an A3 or a BMW 228, it's not true that it doesn't matter how much it costs for gas. It does matter how much it costs for gas, and this car is very fuel efficient. The visibility is not very good, especially when you're looking on the side or in the back. That's the compromise of the design. I'm willing to live with that because the car looks so much better than its competitors. However, it ain't a Honda Fit. The transmission is a 7-speed. It shifts effortlessly. It's not overwhelmingly sporty. I just pressed down on it. It took about maybe, what, half a second for it to react. Accelerating now. The engine noise is very muted. That's okay. I guess that sticks with Mercedes, but I just find that the rest of the car is so sporty. Why not just put a little bit more grunt in the engine sound? Just a little bit more, you know? Especially when you're on the kickdown or something. It's just funner. So the typical buyer of this car is, I guess, somebody who's in the middle class who could easily buy an Accord V6 all equipped, who could easily buy a Ford Fusion all equipped. But you don't really need all that space. Cars have gotten so big, and Civics, Focuses, and Golfs are a little cheap. So you want something distinctive at $40,000. That's about how much these cars cost. They cost about $40,000 plus one or two options, let's say $45,000. You want something distinctive, and I think the typical buyer of this car wants something premium, whether in the way it looks, or whether in the way it drives, or whether the way the interior is, or in terms of the luxury it gives. This car's appearance is the best of the three, that's for sure. The interior certainly feels more premium than the BMW. The BMW's is the worst. I think it feels more sporty than the Audi, though I don't think it's necessarily a sportier car than the Audi. There's a few little interior things that maybe, like I was showing you before, of the doors. When you close the door, you see the metal. The plastics at the bottom of the car maybe are not high level, but they are a little bit soft. Like, it's not that cheap. The reviewers have been hard on that. I don't understand what they're saying. The interior feels great. This screen that floats in the middle, people have criticized that too. Like, it's put on like an afterthought. See, I gotta slow down now because I'm exceeding the speed limit. I didn't even realize it. I wasn't doing that on purpose. People have criticized that. I'm not sure. Like, it looks, the image of the interior screen looks very good. I think, at least. I mean, it's just, I think people are exaggerating. They're being a little bit fussy there. The image quality is very good at that screen, and it doesn't look like an afterthought after a while. Like, I mean, it looks worse in pictures than it does in real life. You still have the Mercedes radio control, which has so many buttons. What are they doing with all these buttons? I don't know. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. But I'm finding a lot of problems criticizing this car. It looks and feels so good. It really does. I'm not sure somebody over 6 feet will necessarily feel comfortable in this car. I don't know. It just feels maybe a little bit tight. The rear seats are smaller than the BMW 2 Series, and that's a 2-door coupe. Should you buy this car? Well, I think the car is excellent. If you want something that looks good and that is stylish and that does not feel like the cheapest car in the lineup. When you look at the Audi A3, it looks like the cheapest car in the lineup. When you look at the BMW 2 Series, it definitely looks like the cheapest car in the lineup. However, this CLA, I don't know, it doesn't look like the cheapest car in the lineup, yet it is. And I think that's where the money's going. It's going in the styling. I think Mercedes really killed the styling for this car. It looks great.